Good evening and welcome to the annual Spanish Fork Western Heritage Parade. We are super excited to be down here on Main Street tonight. The Main Street has been shut down and we are just waiting for everyone to come down the street. So before they arrive, I want to introduce you to Richard Morley.
Hi, Stacy.
Welcome.
It's nice to be with you tonight.
Well, I'm excited. You're in the Diamond Fork Riding Club, right?
I am. And boy, could we ask for a nicer evening.
Oh, it's lovely. We're not even sweating yet.
I know, and I don't know that we will. It's beautiful this evening.
It is beautiful. So we appreciate Richard being here because he knows all things rodeo. We needed to get someone with some experience and knowledge of the stock and the cowboys and what goes on around the rodeo. And so we welcome him tonight. And while we're waiting, we want to welcome and introduce Robert and Gail Davies. They are this year's Fiesta Days chairman. So welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
Good evening.
So how has Fiesta Days, it's already kicked off, how are things going?
So far, so good. We've had a little bit of weather issues, but we've just worked right through them.
Well, good, and there's not much you can do about that.
That's right.
Well, it's a beautiful evening for the Fiesta Days.
This is perfect.
Yes, it is. So tell us about what are some of your favorite things about the rodeo? Since we're doing the parade, what do you guys love about it?
Well, we've always gone to the rodeo, and we usually try to reserve the 24th night.
Oh, okay.
We like to go the last night, and then the Grand Parade is usually one of our favorites to go and see that.
Now, did both of you grow up here in this area?
I've lived in Spanish Fork my whole life. Robert grew up in Mapleton, but he's lived here longer than he's lived there, so he
Okay.
is from Spanish Fork.
Yes, he is, if he's lived here longer now. And so last year you were the co-chair.
Yes.
This year that you're the chair. Next year you kind of
You're kind of
move along, but then you're
kind of the outgoing and just help and do whatever they need us to do.
And so have you liked this system?
I love this system. I think it's nice. It's not all new people all at once, and everybody kind of gets that learning curve, and the other two couples help the new ones coming in.
And it's a 3-year commitment, and you're going to be exhausted as our past chairman, Mike and Kim Olson, will be heading out here in a couple weeks, probably skipping and dancing on their way down Main Street, being so happy their 3 years are over.
We're planning a trip to Hawaii in fall of 18.
Good choice. Good choice.
So what's been most memorable in your service as chairman?
I think for me, it is the volunteers. After working with Fiesta Days, realizing just how much work goes into every single event. And without the volunteers, it just would not happen.
Definitely. I agree. Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I'd say is the volunteers, because you got people coming out of the woodwork that are willing and just love to help out in any way they can. But it is the volunteers that help put this thing together.
I think that's one of the amazing things about where we live. The Western heritage isn't just about the parade or just isn't about the rodeo, but it really is that heritage. And this area was founded on volunteerism, sacrifice, commitment, and I think we really see that in the citizens of Spanish Fork.
Definitely. It makes Spanish Fork what it is. Tell us about how did the Western Heritage Parade even start? Do you know that much back history?
What I remember as a child is watching the stock. They would bring it down, and they came from several different routes, but I remember watching them come up 4th North, and they would bring the bulls, the roping cattle, all of the calves, the bucking horses, and they would bring them up and then drive them down Main Street and over to the fairgrounds. So it really kind of touched on the heritage of the old cattle drive.
So now we have a stock company that brings all the stock, right? So they're not coming from local areas where maybe 30, 50 years ago that's where they were coming from?
Correct. The stock that we've got and our stock contractor is really world renowned. They take stock to the NFR every year. They've got some of the best bucking stock in the country, and it really has upped the game for the Spanish Fork Fiesta Days Rodeo. We've got the top named cowboys that will come and visit. every top-named cowboy will come through Spanish Fork Rodeo on their way to the NFR. So
That's
really,
cool.
it really is cool. The citizens of Spanish Fork in our area are able to see the best cowboys and the best livestock in the country right here without having to go anywhere else.
That's exciting. Well, I'm expecting a great rodeo. You have 4 nights to go and check it out, and this will be just the event to kick it off. So
That's right. It's exciting, and I think everybody loves the rodeo.
I agree.
yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for coming, and thank you both for your time on the committee. You only have 1 more year ahead of you. Get the next week under your belt, and
That's right. Well, thank you for having us.
thank you.
Thanks for coming in.